Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and in this video, this is Vlogmas Day 14. It's 4 o'clock. I just spent the day at school. Even though the kids had off, we were doing teacher work, you know, looking through assessment scores, learning how to read the data from the standardized tests, looking at our scope and sequence, making sure we're not missing anything from one grade level to the other. Really awesome, fun things. So I didn't do very much. And then I am feeling really sick today. I think I just have a really bad cold. I know I don't have COVID because my husband has to get tested weekly for where he works. So we don't have COVID, otherwise he'd have been flagged, and he had this first. It's just a really bad cold with congestion. Yesterday I had a headache, or it started with a headache, and I didn't go get Tylenol. I just wanted to stay in my room and get things done. I didn't bring any, and I never ran down to the nurse. So by the end of the day, it was a migraine, and I had Flynn's Christmas concert. Our school broke it up pre-K through 2, and then they had like an intermission where parents could leave and the new parents could come in for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And I was really tired and dizzy and hot. I took some NyQuil, went to bed, woke up this morning, took some Dayquil. So now I'm just kind of feeling like congested and medicine heady. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible, huh? But I did want to open the advent calendar. I've been helping Flynn with a school project. He has a diorama due. And so I've been helping him cut things out, you know, give him some pointers, keep an eye on him while he's working with the hot glue gun, you know, so he doesn't burn his fingers. So let's open Vlogmas Day 14. I, of course, am behind because I only did up to Sunday night. So I still have Monday square, Tuesday square, and now Wednesday square. I might actually do one today. We'll see. More gray. I love this gray. I am really loving most of the colors. The only color I didn't love was shrimp foam, or foam shrimp. What's this one called? Earl Grey, of course. So it looks like I have 2 Earl Greys over here. I'm backed up. And an elderberry. And then this like little wooden tag. I don't know if it's like an ornament or a gift tag. You guys, so I'm going to tell you something. This is what, I do have something I can talk about. So I'm going to put this in here backwards. Remember on Friday when I take Fridays out, or, oh, Thursdays actually, Thursday's 15th. I'll organize that so it makes sense. But right now I'm leaving it mixed up. But what I was going to say was, okay, so I went to Five Below at the beginning of Christmas, December, whatever, beginning of January, end of January. And I asked, I think Flynn was with me and maybe Maddie. No, maybe Jer. It was Flynn and Jer. And I said, hey, do you guys want an advent calendar? Now, it was nothing fancy. It's just those little cardboard ones where you open up the door and there's a little piece of chocolate in there. Flynn said he did not want one. Maddie said she did. Or no, Maddie wasn't there. I just chose her one. And Jer said he did. So I got 2, and I was like, are you sure you don't want one, buddy? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. Well, fast forward a few days, he does want one. Well, guess what here? Here we are on the 12th, I think. There's none to be found to buy him a new one. So I was like, you know what? He doesn't even really completely isn't a lover of chocolate to begin with. So I decided to, and I'm going to show you guys this. I took the advent calendar from last year, the one that I had sitting up here, and I mixed up all the drawers, and I turned them around so that all the numbers are on there, and then I put the kind of candy he likes in there. So I have some of these in here, and some of those. So now he's a little behind, but he knows that he's got to do 2 a day until he catches up, and then he's to 1 a day. But I thought that was a really good use of this big box. But in order to do that, I had to pull all the things I had been putting in there because I had been using it as storage for a while, you know, like groupings of things. So one of them I had the little scissors. Another one I had my extra tape measures. Another one I had stitch markers. You know what I'm saying? Beads. T-shaped pins, the ones you use when you're blocking. I don't need to go through them all. You know all that. All the notions. That's what they're called. Well, I moved them into this bag because this one is only 3 rows empty. And I have all of these drawers up here now filled with the things that were in the other one. So here are like the little leather, the made labels that Bella Coco gives us. Those are in that. So they're full now. I can put something in there. But the leftovers I put in this bag. And I wanted to show you something in here that I was like, I had forgotten. Last year, she gave us these kind of like little ornaments. They're like little plastic. They're like the material that the stitch markers are made of. And then this one's a crochet hook. I really like this one. I like snowflakes. If I had the opportunity to either have a huge home where we could have more than one Christmas tree, because part of me really does like having the tree with all the ornaments that, you know, you buy for the kids over the year and the kids make for you. But I also would really, really like to have a gorgeous tree. Here's another one, a bauble. It says hook, hook, hook. And then the last one here, wish you a Merry Christmas. And it's a little sheep, you. But anyway, I would really love to have a beautiful tree. And one of my ideas of a beautiful tree would be all white twinkly lights, or the clear ones, whatever, and all icicles and snowflakes. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Now, I do have a set of silver snowflakes that are all like silver glitter, and then I have some pink ones, and I have a couple gold ones. But I do have those. You know what else I was going to talk about? This kind of made me fussy the other day, and I don't need to be fussy. The whole thing between fake trees and real trees. Now, obviously, Christmas trees, going out into the woods and cutting them, or whatever, could, I guess, in some way be bad for the environment. Unless, of course, you're replanting, right? And the whole point of Christmas tree farms, I don't know if other countries have these, if this is just an American thing. You have people that will buy or own a large plot of land, and they just fill it with Christmas trees, like the evergreens. I mean, I can't even tell you the different brands or the different breeds of trees because I don't know. Evergreen. I'm trying to think of the names. I see them on the sign because they'll charge you different prices. Douglas fir. I can't think of all the names, okay? And so they'll have like a list. And the place that we go to has one field of like all Douglas fir. One field, and in that field, there's got to be something like over 100 trees. And they rotate you through the fields. So if you like Douglas fir, you can only go into this section because the other trees are babies. And so once you take that tree, you cut it down, you bring it to your house, they plant new ones to keep their business going, and they rotate you through the fields. So it's not like deforestation, you know, where all of us Americans are like marching out into the forest, cutting down trees, tearing down the habitats of these creatures, but they specifically are growing trees in the fields for you to cut down, and then they plant new ones. And obviously, in order to keep your business consistent, right? And you don't have everybody cut down all the big trees, and the next year you don't have any trees to sell, that wouldn't be good for your business, right? So I don't think it's necessarily bad for the environment. I mean, there are some people that like keep them planted. I don't know how you do that because you got the roots, and those roots must be big. So to say all that, I don't think it's necessarily terrible for the environment because people, those Christmas tree farmers, people out there, they're planting more trees and growing more and rotating the crops so that they are constantly having a source of income for you to go there the next year and get another tree. And I will say part of me does want an artificial tree. I'm going to be honest about that. But I was thinking about that. And so if you're getting an artificial tree, all this talk, you guys, this is what I've been thinking for 2 days now. You aren't cutting one out of the environment, whether you go to a tree farm or whether the tree farm people cut it and bring it to a parking lot. They all come from Christmas tree farms, right? None of these trees are just out in the woods being chopped down. But I do think, and I know very little about artificial trees, I will tell you the truth, but I know they're made of plastic. And I know plastic comes from fossil fuels. It's a derivative of oil. So I can't imagine that artificial trees are any better for the environment or any worse. And especially with the way, and I know Americans are way different than the other countries, our consumerism, this idea that you constantly have to have bigger and better. So one year you buy a plastic, you buy the artificial tree. The next year you want an artificial tree that's bigger. Then you want an artificial tree with lights on it, already on, because that's what I really want. But what do you do with the old tree? You try to sell it at Goodwill, right? Or you donate it and somebody else, but then when the tree breaks or they bend and it's not great, they end up in the landfill. And I think the nice thing about the real trees is when you are done, in our town anyway, the Boy Scouts collect them. They drive around in trucks and they use them for mulch. They chip it up and it's used for mulch and they sell the mulch. Or also, even if a tree dies and you cut it and you throw it out in the woods, it can still be a habitat, or it can still be part of the natural decomposition of the woods. Whereas no matter what, when you're done with the plastic, the artificial tree, it's pollution, right? So I guess all of this to say that I don't feel too bad about using the real tree. Yeah, I really don't. Even though I do like the convenience of having a fake tree in the basement that I bring up and I set up, at some point that is going to be in a landfill. Realistically, I mean, if they don't buy the trees, I mean, Goodwill can only hold so many. And what do? When they get more donations and they take the old donations, and if it doesn't clearance out, they give it away or throw it away. So I don't know why I've been doing that talk. Well, I will be honest. Somebody did put a comment in one of my videos about how they felt that it was, that I wasn't teaching my kids good lessons by cutting down trees, about respecting living things. But I think you can respect living things by admiring its beauty and still taking care of the environment. We're learning about that in 2nd grade right now. Conserving your natural resources, replanting trees. I mean, you could say that, but this is where I'm going to climb up on my 2nd grade soapbox here. All the things that we use in our society, we are so past conserving. I mean, just think of newspapers, books, magazines, price tags on clothes, all the mailers that people are mailing, the coupons for Culver's comes on a piece of paper, all the politics people when it's voting season or election season. We are so past the idea that we're conserving because we're just a big consumer culture. America for sure. I think Europe has to be as well. I mean, they do have a little bit more regulations or whatever, but they're still all wearing Levi's jeans over there. They're reading books. They have magazines. They have papers. And so I'm just saying all of this, instruction manuals, you know what I'm saying? The books that come in the cars, it's just paper, paper, paper. And I actually read a statistic when I was doing some research that we don't consume enough of recycled paper. So it's one point to use paper and put it in the recycling and send it off to the recycling plant, but you have to purchase paper made from recycled paper. You have to purchase plastic made from recycled plastics in order for the cycle to be completed. It's one thing to buy all these things, put them in your blue bin, put them on the curb, have the recycling truck take it. But then on the other side, we have to use recycled products. Now, come to think of it, does anybody know, do they make Christmas trees out of recycled plastic? Do they make them out of recycled products? Do they have that? Because that would be a good one. That would be good because you're using it. I mean, it's still going to end up in the landfill someday. Anyway, what a heavy topic, but that's what I've been thinking about. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately because, like I said, we're just studying that unit in 2nd grade, talking about what we can do. Obviously, it's on a little bit of a Christian slant. What can we do to protect the environment? How can we respect the natural resources that God gave us? Because that's what it says in the Bible in Genesis 1:28, that God put us, and we need to conserve our earth. We need to protect our earth and our animals. And how can we do that? And then one of the big things I've been thinking about is it's all well and good to recycle, but you have to use the products that are made from recycled products. All right, well, hopefully you all aren't like hating me for that. Maybe you're like, Summer, that's such a controversial topic. I don't know. Is recycling and using recycled goods? I don't know. But it is definitely something we need to think about. Think about the number of trees, I guess, across America. I don't know of Europe, if they use real trees or fake trees or who's making them. I don't know. I have a very small slice of European people that watch my channel. Not too many, very small. But I know in America, I mean, obviously we're going through thousands upon thousands of trees, but they can't be mulched. You just throw them in that little wood chipper. They fly out as mulch on the other end, and then you use them in your landscaping. And they decompose and biodegrade back into the soil, right? That's what mulch does. That's why mulch is a better form of landscaping, because unless of course you get the painted ones. I've heard that those are bad, that you need to get the natural color. Well, there you guys go. That is what I've been thinking about. School projects, recycling, pollution, conserving, respecting our natural resources, to get a real Christmas tree or to get a fake Christmas tree. What is the answer? Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you guys don't hate me and you'll come back and watch me again tomorrow. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.